What's up, my friends? My allergies are absolutely horrid today, so I really hope that you don't mind me sneezing 400,000 times. The pollen is strong with us this year, unfortunately. Got a lot of tracks to go through and not a lot of time to do it, so we're going to hop right into it. But I'm obligated to mention that I just released a track on Hexagon, and I'm also excited to announce that as well. It's called Work This Out. You should definitely go check it out after the stream, of course. Maybe throw it in your playlists if you're into it. Anyway, let's hop over and check out what you guys have been working on. I know we missed last week, so there was quite a few of you guys piled up, and that is cool. So let's start off by making sure that I'm not going to ruin somebody's song like I always do. I think we're good. All right, we got Grim, Screech. Thank you, Coder B5. I appreciate that. Grim and Screech, Last Night Remix. Here we go.
Last night we let the liquor talk. I can't remember everything we said, but we said it all. You told me that you wish I was somebody you never met. But baby, something's telling me this ain't over yet. No way it was our last night. I kissed your lips, make you grip the sheets with your fingertips. Last bottle of Jack, we split a fifth. Just talking about life, going sip for sip. Yeah, you know you love to fight, and I say shit I don't mean, but I'm still gonna wake up on you and me. I know that last night we let the liquor talk. I can't remember everything we said, but we said it all. You told me that you wish I was somebody you never met. But baby, something's telling me this ain't over yet. No way it was our last night. 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 No way it was our. No way it was our last night.
All right, let's stop there for a sec. Can we collectively just agree to
Wake up on you and
not use that riser effect anymore?
wake up on you and me. I know that.
I feel like we should all just kind of take a vow to stop using that specific riser sound, because I feel like it's in every single Top 40s remix. Anyway, ignoring that, the rest sounds good. I really don't like the original song, but I like what you're doing with it. Let's listen to this drop. Oops, let's listen to drop again for a sec. So I don't know if that note is too low, but I feel like there's no sub when it hits. So
No way it was our.
it almost feels like a letdown when it hits the drop, because like we lose the sub, and I'm thinking it's just too low of a note. Let's figure out what note it is. It's probably something like a fucking B or something. Yeah. Right?
No way it was our.
That's gonna be tough.
No way it was our.
Yeah. That's a tough note. It's a tough note to make come through on any system. I mean, like, I've got a really good subwoofer, and that first note of the drop just sounds like there's no bass whatsoever. And then you hit that, and then the sub is nice and thick, right? But that very first hit, there's just no sub. What happens if I do this? Let's do this, just to see. Yeah, okay, so that proves that the sub is there, but it's just too low, so we don't hear it. Thank you, Rayhem, for your valuable input. So that's going to be a tough problem to fix. It's a note thing. You might have to go up an octave or layer an octave or something. I don't know, but B is a tough move, a bold choice of note. I would also probably have some little break before the drop. I'm night coring it to prove that note is actually there, but it's just too low for it to come through most speakers. So I pitched the whole song up, and that brought the sub up to an audible frequency, and then it's like, oh, okay, there is a sub there. Anyway, let's keep going. Okay, so the sub is nice and thick in this section. Okay, so you need to tell Screech that he's got to sort out how to make that sub cut through. I feel like I'm like very low in this area here. Like I need to sit up stronger or something. Anyway, yeah, two biggest problems that I have with this right now. Otherwise, it sounds great for a top 40s, remix bar kind of track. Get rid of that fucking riser and just delete it off your hard drive. Because like we've heard that hard drive. Wow, we've heard that riser too many times. It's just too much of like a. I don't know. I just have heard it too many times. Just get rid of it. Replace it with something more creative and unique. And then figure out this. You can hear that next note up. Sounds nice and thick. Anyway, that's what I have to say. It's a cool track. I dig it. I like it a lot more than the original. So there's that. I'm gonna do this. Watch this, because I have the power to. And I will. And then I can also do this. There we go. There, I fixed it. Okay, cool. Thanks for sending in, guys. Fix those couple things. Sounds dope. Bang it at the bar. All the ladies will love it. All right, next up, we got Swiss Cheese. The following leaves VIP, even though there's still 9 months until January 1st, 2024. No way. Is that the same key? Could these be... I'm a DJ. I really want to put the last night we let the liquor talk on top of that. Okay, so yeah, this needs vocals or like a more like a main hook or something, especially like you're not gonna you're gonna lose your audience in this section because it really is just hitting chords, chords, chords. Uh I don't know what you would put there. You could maybe continue the that thing. I like that. That's cool. There's a lot of great stuff happening in this, but like it sounds like you've left room for something that is not there. I feel like your drums sound like they're mostly top drums, you know, like the kick and the snare are both very very ticky, very top end. I don't have a lot of oomph to it. Like if we go, excuse me, if we go here and we solo just the bottom end, we get lots of nice deep bass from your bass synth, but the kick just has a little dick, dick, dick. Mostly just punch. So I feel like the kick could have a bit more bottom end to it. What have I done wrong down here? What's this going on here? What usually goes there? Why am I dumb? What? No, I heard the second part. It sounded good. What have I done? Like what usually goes down here? We got oh. Wow, I'm an idiot. Okay, anyway. I did listen to the second half of your track, Grim. Yeah, I did, and it sounds good. I didn't really have any issues with the second half. It was just the first half. It needed the sub disappeared on that low B note, so that was really the biggest thing. The second half, I didn't really have any thoughts. Yeah, Cheese, this sounds good. To me, the sections I think sometimes you overestimate people's patience. And it's not even that you're trying to appeal to impatient people. It's just that there's not a lot of value in this sounding piano playing these chords and just holding chords. Maybe if it was like a really cool sounding piano and the chords were played a little more like humanly and there was like some ambience or something. But right now I just kind of feel like I'm listening to a VST piano playing a set of chords. So that's my main thought on this track is figure out ways of still having these moments where we break down and we breathe and it's not full drop section, but it can't just strip back to just strictly chords. It's got to have more value to it. It has to have more theme and more just musical content, you know, a melody, a vocal, maybe a really cool ambience or whatever if you don't want to go that route. Like this part's not as bad. You know, you got kind of this delayed out top piano sound. So maybe cutting out this section, you know, and just going to that or something, or maybe it is just an ambience thing. I don't know. It's just not enough to hold my attention as a listener. I'm listening to it and I'm just kind of like sitting here waiting for the next part because, okay, there's some piano chords, you know, like, yes, nice chords, very good, but the chords are the foundation. It doesn't sound like you've built anything on that. Besides that, yeah, I think the drums are feeling a little thin, a little too clicky, but not enough like oomph to them. And those are my thoughts for that track. I know that I'm kind of going fast, but I'm trying to keep light on my toes today because we got a lot of tracks and I got a lot of shit to do tonight. I still want to give you guys good feedback, But I'm not going to sit here and try to figure out what top drums would sound good on this track. So let's move on. All right. Moving on, we got HHS, Love the Fuzz. Okay, it better have some fuzz to it. Let's have a listen. That was fucking unique. I would say that is very unique. I think this sound, it makes it sound a bit memey, but the rest of the track is pretty cool. I think it needs to be a bit more aggressive. Like that clap is so far behind everything else. Also, why do we have such big headroom? This track is fucking cool. I really actually like this track. I think if anything, I just want this track to go a little bit harder, like push it a bit harder in terms of everything, the production, the mix, the master. I think that if that clap was just a bit more in my face, I would have lost my mind here. It's kind of like if you listen specifically to the clap, it's what is contributing the most to the track not having a whole lot of oomph in this section. There's a lot of sub and there's that cool, like weird synth thing that's happening, but then the clap is like the final piece and it's so far down in the mix that it makes the rest of the track just not sound that loud. Let me see. Oh, my friggin' nose is killing me. We need like a snare clap. Oh my god, I'm gonna sneeze so hard. Hold on. Bless me, or whatever. All right, let's see what this sounds like. That's probably not the right clap, but get out. I don't know. I'm not going to try to find the right clap. I think the clap is buried in the mix. Bring that up. Master it harder. Just push everything a little bit harder. Get a little bit more heavy-handed. When this came in, there's a lot of really cool stuff that's happening. But overall, get the clap up, push everything a little harder. And the intro was kind of long and maybe a little bit boring. Might just be twice as long as it needs to be, and maybe have some automation that kind of opens up towards the track starting, you know, to give us a feeling of movement as opposed to just like stagnating in the same sound. And the ending, I liked it. I think the track had got me to a place, and then I was able to enjoy the ending in its simplicity. So I don't think that's a problem. But right off the hop, I would definitely get into the track a little bit more creatively as opposed to just like playing the same shit for 8 bars. Okay, cool. Thank you for sending. That was dope. Next up, we got Ice Kayab, Some Happy BS I made a while ago. Watch your language, young man. Let's have a listen. This has like demonic Nyan Cat vibes. Okay, so right off the bat, I knew as soon as I heard it that I needed to grab this and go like this, because whatever that sound is in that synth, whoa, easy on my ears, buddy. Okay, where are we? Okay, so in terms of like upbeat, happy Nyan Cat vibes, you're bang on. The mix, however, is not great. I can't tell if it's mostly because of that frequency range in that synth being so like offensive to my ears, like right here. I think that's the biggest problem. I think that's what's stopping me from really getting into this track is that frequency range is very hard on my ears. Oh? What? Why? Why did you do that? Why did you do that? Why? I don't know why you went to those notes. everything was trucking along melodically fine, and the only issues I had were mostly with the mix. But now I'm questioning why you're doing this thing with the notes that you're changing. I don't know what's happening or why it's happening, but I don't like it. It's very it I feel like I'm in a bad place now. Yeah, you were onto something, but whatever this experiment, unless you're going for the reaction that I'm having right now, I don't know if it's the way. I feel like it's not the way. It's maybe in the way of me enjoying it more, but yeah, okay. Main notes on this is be careful with that synth that you're doing. It has a lot of energy up in that danger zone, like the 3 to 5 kilohertz range. There's a lot. It sounds very resonant, and I would fix that before you move forward. And then I don't know. I think you need to fix that first because it's really distracting, and it's hard for me to like listen to other stuff that could be improved upon. I think melodically it's strong and it's a catchy, like happy tune. I think you just need to fix that frequency range and then keep going and maybe question whether this back here is the right move with the change of the notes. I think it's not, in my opinion. But I do like the track. I like the melodic shit until it gets to this section. So that's cool. Keep going. All right, moving on. Thank you for sending. We got Coder B5. I think he just topped off, unfortunately, but he will have to check this out in the VOD. We got Mesmerized featuring Steven Sims. Okay, so this is really cool. This reminds me of like some old Savant stuff. Ride the Wind, I think the track is called. I really like this, but I feel like the vocals haven't been compressed at all. Like they sound like they almost don't have any processing besides like the auto tune, because there's certain notes that cut through the mix and then most of it is sitting under the mix. So I would go and compress the vocals quite a bit so that you're dealing with a smaller dynamic range and you can more accurately place that in the mix. What's up, Adexi? And now I live with regret, but I've been getting by. Then I see your face, I'm all out of place, and I don't know why. When I look into your eyes, like especially there, I can hear what he's saying, I can understand him, but he is definitely under the mix. When I look into your eyes, I get mesmerized. I don't know when I'll get over you, get over you. I'll get over you, get over you. I'll get over you, get over you. I second guess myself, can't confide in anyone else. Yeah, the vocals almost sound like they were recorded on a phone or not very like on a good mic or something. I can't tell if that's maybe processing, or I feel like if the vocals were just more compressed, you would have a better time, but they just kind of sound like they're underneath the mix really bad. I like his performance. I feel like the auto tune is maybe a bit much. Like maybe you should try to get it tuned a little bit closer before you send it in. The vocals need to be strong. Just guessing, not my track. Yeah, I think, yeah, you're right. The vocals are not quite strong enough in the mix. They almost are like quieter than everything else. I agree that it's not bright enough. That's why I went in and added I added some brightness up in the top. But you know what I mean? The vocals just kind of sound like he's singing in the room with you, but not in a good way. Like they got too much dynamic range, and that makes it hard to place in the mix. So compress the vocals. Overall, we need more brightness to the whole track. You can hear the difference there. I wouldn't suggest doing this in the master. I did because that's the only thing I have access to. But I would try to get the track kind of brighter overall. But yeah, biggest thing, compress those vocals, get them nice and present in the mix. Reducing the loud noise or loud parts, increasing the quiet parts makes it easier to place because now you don't have as much of a moving target. You have this smaller, compressed dynamic range that you can more accurately place in the mix. But yes, those are my thoughts. It's very cool. Check out Ride. Is it Ride Like the Wind? Let me try this for a sec. Ride Like the Wind, Savant. I don't know. Ride. Yeah, Ride Like the Wind. Okay, here we go.
What if we stopped at carrier pigeons?
It's actually this. So that's maybe a good reference for you to use to get those vocals placed properly. YouTube situation on a stream. Rare. I don't know what that means. Okay. Moving on. What do we got? We got Milta Key. Wow, that was hard for me. Jesus, that's okay.
Kiss and
Wow. Okay. What just happened? This reminds me. Now we're playing the "This Reminds Me" game, but God, I love that shit. It's been so long since I listened to Protodome. Anyway, that gave me this vibes right off the stop, except this is more like EDM or whatever. Yeah, this is sick. It doesn't make sense to me at all. Like structure-wise, it just kind of sounds like somebody took a clip from the middle of a song, and maybe that's what happened. I don't know. Sounds dope to me. I don't really know what else to tell you except like if this is the current structure, make it more of a song and then everybody will love it. Cool. All right, let's move on. That's all I got for you for that one. It's dope. It's cool. Make it more structurally sound. Okay, we got Nitro, Toxic.
Why do you do this when in the moment couldn't see your behavior was toxic for me? Eternal optimist, I make the best of it. Couldn't see your behavior was toxic for me. Why do you do
Okay, my thoughts on this is that you have about 14 sick elements all happening at the same time, and I don't know what to listen to. So go through, carve out sections in the track for each, maybe not each individual thing, but like group them in stuff that makes sense. I just feel like there's like, I'm being overwhelmed with cool elements, and I'm just like, whoa, you know? Also, those vocals are really kind of heavy in that. I'd do something like that, this kind of EQ curve to the vocal track to tame down that kind of sound. But overall, there's definitely a lot of sick things happening, but they're all kind of fighting each other. So try to strip it back.
Why do you do it? I need a break. Don't care how long it takes. You know I hate the way you lie to me. You make me feel so dark. You really broke my heart. You open all my scars. Why do you do this? When in the moment couldn't see your behavior was toxic for me. Eternal optimist, I make the best of it. Couldn't see your behavior was toxic for me. Why do you do this? When in the moment
Like maybe even just like, why do I do this? Then remove the vocals altogether and just like do some fucking EDM shit and then bring the vocal in at the end of like every other bar or every other measure, blah, 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 blah. You know, like there's just like, it's just kind of with the side chain, it's almost like a rolling wave of stuff, too much stuff, right? There's lots of cool shit happening. The vibe is cool. There's a lot of strong stuff happening. I think going through and just, you know, like if your track kind of looks like this with all your elements in the playlist, I think your best bet, if say this was the drop, to just like, you know, delete a bunch of stuff and like just rock out with these, then maybe switch it up and hit us with those, and then maybe bring it back in and hit us with everything if it makes sense. But yeah, it's a bit of a clusterfuck right now. And it's a clusterfuck of cool stuff, so at least there's that. But very rarely does clusterfuck equal good. So yeah, those are my thoughts. Cool, thanks. All right, moving on. We got Freeze, I think. Apache thing on Harman listening frequency. Okay. All right, this is a cool Camel track. I like the melodic elements. It's cool, but the drums are not exactly hitting the way that I think you want them to hit, and I'm willing to bet that that's probably what you're struggling with the most. This one's tough. Let me see what the spectrum's saying. I think this over here is your problem. I think like that main bass synth has very little top end, right? The kick has very little top end besides just the very start transient. So your whole track just kind of sounds a bit low passed in this section. I think that's the biggest problem for this drop section, is that there's a lack of energy in the top end. It's like mostly like dull bass driven stuff, right? So maybe adding a layer that has a bit of like aggressiveness, like top end to it, or maybe distorting that bass a bit more to bring back some top high end harmonics. Besides that, I think your da-da-da-da-da, that thing is a bit too loud. It seems to overpower the mix when we get to this section. It's cool. Everything in this is cool. I think it just doesn't hit as hard as it should. I would bring the dun da 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 whatever blah 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 the fucking the string thing. Bring that down quite a bit in the mix because it's overpowering, and then somehow try to fit in some higher harmonics into these drop sections so that we have a bit more full spectrum. Yeah, I think that's gonna go a long way for this track. I would also find some tracks that are in this style and direct A to B them against each other so that you can hear like, oh, wow, there is a lot more brightness, or, oh, there is a lot more power, or something like that, right? Besides that, it's a cool track. I like it. It's very camely for some reason. I don't know. Maybe I'm not allowed to say that. I have no idea. But it's dope. Just try to get it hitting a bit harder, a bit brighter, and turn those strings down. All right. Whoopsies. We got Corteo, Milky Lies, PNG. I don't like that. Okay, this is cool. It's got a unique vibe for sure. I think this section would be way cooler if your kick had a bit more punch and you got rid of the R&B kind of early 2000s clap and replaced it with like a snare or like a tighter clap or something. Generally speaking, I think the biggest problem with this so far is that harmonically there's a lot going on and some of the things don't really sound like they're working together very well. See, like you're playing a certain note with the bass, and then there's like the vocals that are doing their thing, and then there's like a chord key kind of sound that's also doing its own thing. I would go through and mute all the drums, mute everything except the chords and the melody, and make sure that excuse me, sorry, my nose is itchy as fuck. Make sure that everything melodically is like working together. Make sure everything is supporting a common chord structure, a melody. You know, to me it kind of sounds a little bit just randomly put together in terms of like the vocal chops and stuff like that. They don't really seem to follow any rhyme or reason. Yeah, okay, so every once in a while throughout the track, you kind of touch on like a cool chord progression or a cool melodic thing, but it just kind of seems a bit scrambled, like the track in general. It just kind of just goes and does stuff and then does other stuff and then does other stuff. I feel like it's lacking a general theme. My bad. It's lacking like a general theme or chord structure or something to build on, you know? You know what I mean? Like, that's cool. There's lots of cool things that happen, but it doesn't sound like it's all part of the same story. It almost sounds like you're in like a cafeteria and there's like 25 people around you all talking about different things, as opposed to like you on a stage giving a message to a whole crowd. It almost sounds like there's like a bunch of messages being all mixed up in my head. So I would say go through, pick out a few of your favorite elements and a few of your favorite maybe chord structures or melodies or whatever, and build a song out of that. Make the song follow some sort of path that leads us along and delivers value in terms of repeating chord structures, or, you know, hitting us with cool hooks and then varying the hooks or playing the hooks with different instruments. But generally speaking, this track is just kind of scramble-brained a bit too much. Okay, moving on. We got Alexis B, or Alex is B. Bright Lights, Westbrook. Oh, we got the Westbrook flip. Okay, finally. Here we go. Let's have a listen and see what Westbrook has given us. It's been so long.
Every sound that's got me moving to the beat. Electric energy, it washes over me. Bright lights in the city. Every sound that's got me moving to the beat. My head won't stop spinning. Electric energy, it washes over me.
Okay, this is dope so far, but what is going on with this hard cut at 15K? It doesn't bother me as much in the track, but the vocal sounds like it's a YouTube rip. The vocal is by far the weakest part of this track. The drop is sick. Yeah, this is sick, but I am confused as to why we just have this super steep. I even went and checked to see if you fucked up and sent like a weird low quality MP3, but you didn't. So what's up with that? Let's keep going.
Bright lights in the city. Every sound has got me moving to the beat. My head won't stop spinning. Electric energy, it washes over me. Bright lights in the city. Every sound has got me moving to the beat. My head won't stop spinning. Electric energy, it washes over me.
Okay, so this track is definitely fucking sick. I do want you to tell me what is up with this. why that's happening. The vocals are just like, get rid of them. Get rid of those vocals. Do some fucking original vocals or something. But the vocals are contributing to this like dull vibe that's happening in terms of like the lack of top end. Like, let's listen to what's actually going on up here. Why does the wub sound Fowlery? It's definitely, I think it's sick. So I don't know. I guess that makes sense. Let's go like this. Let's just listen to see what's up here. What's up? No mark user. Fowler inspired. Kyle, answer my... Did you do this in the master? Did somebody tell you to do this in the master? Who did this to you? I don't know, man. Get some fucking vocals on it. I have no clue. There's something going on. It's a strange cut right at 15 kilohertz. I'm not quite sure. What's up, Lou Woo? Yeah, I would sort that out. Get some vocals. Get some good fucking new vocals that fit a bit better and that don't sound like they were ripped off of YouTube. The vocals are the weakest thing. The track is dope. It's so good, man. Like